Hey guys, we're back again for episode 2 of the Full-Time Grinders Tennis Talk Show. I'm Dylan, back again. Today we're going to be talking about the most important thing in developing a high-level player. We're going to start out talking about what our favorite tournament that we have ever played in. Who wants to start it off?
Dylan, why don't you start it off? I think I know what. Yeah. Let's see what you've done.
Do you think I know? You know which one I'm going to say?
I mean, I better.
I would say from places standpoint, I Thunder Bay, always liked it. Going up to Canada, it was just fun being up there. The people were great, loved it. I would also say the Sioux Falls tournament. I love the location. I just unfortunately have never had great success on the court at that tournament. But the location and the people and the whole event, awesome job. Those would be a tie for my top 2.
I haven't been to Sioux Falls for that tournament, I don't think.
Super fun, just tough time on the court for me.
Yeah, I did go to Thunder Bay. Didn't we play each other in Thunder Bay?
We did play each other in Thunder Bay. Yeah,
right. That's why it was so great. I remember that. That was really good.
I had more success in Thunder Bay though. I took 3rd/4th in doubles one year.
Who'd you play with?
Grant Leisner.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Dream
classic. The throwback.
Won $200.
Yeah, there you go. Go ahead, Tobe.
Maybe the state tournament might have been my favorite, even though I had mostly bad memories there. Playing in it was probably the most fun. That maybe Aquatennial downtown Minneapolis is pretty cool. And maybe in Palm Springs as well for the national.
for the national? Oh, for the ITA.
Yeah, I don't know what that was. These girls just yelled into it. What was I saying?
You got a
little distracted.
What the heck? I'm at the Tel Aviv airport, and I had some hecklers, I guess.
In Israel, correct?
Girls.
Yes.
In Israel, got it.
Well, he could change his answer after this next week. He could say Tel Aviv is his new favorite place.
Yeah, if I have a really good tournament here, my favorite place to play could have been
Israel,
Jerusalem, Tel Aviv.
All right,
we'll see.
All right, Dusty, what is your favorite one?
Probably Australia. People there are very nice. It's the one city I played in was Cairns, and I did pretty well that week. There was a lot of people that actually had a fundraiser, so they did like a barbecue, like a little carnival. It was like a freaking carnival. They got food trucks, all that stuff. It was a pretty big tournament. I think I was quarterfinals and singles, and I won the doubles with my friend from the UK, and that's right next to the Great Barrier Reef. So it's a pretty sweet location.
Did one of the tournament directors help you get like a pair of shoes or something?
Your memory's a little better than mine, Dill.
Oh. I thought you had didn't have a pair of shoes. I thought out in Australia one year you didn't have a extra pair of shoes, so you had to get one ordered quick to one of the other tournaments or something.
That does actually ring a bell. That does ring a bell.
That's pretty good. Have the best memory.
That would be Australia. I don't know if it was the same week, same trip. I've been to Australia twice now. But yeah, that does ring a bell. I don't really remember what I had for lunch yesterday, so I'm not going to remember that. But yeah, that does sound familiar.
Okay.
Dylan's got a heck of a memory.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Steel trap up here, man. All right. So, hey, let's just get right into last week. We kind of talked about developing a high level player. And I thought this week we could kind of touch on some of the things that are most important in developing a high level player. So I figured we could take it from like a kid that's maybe 14 or less at this point. A good starting point. So who wants to start it off with what you think is like the most important part in like developing a high level player? And it can kind of be whatever you just think's most important.
I guess the first thing that came to my mind was just having a strong base, as in, so when you are at that age, starting to play pretty good tennis, you have good fundamentals, good form, pretty strong, good athletic movements. Like you're kind of all around, you have that base to build off of. That's just the first thing that came to mind when starting out like that.
So yeah, just kind of like what you said last time with like, just like having no weaknesses or as few weaknesses as possible. is like where
Yeah,
a
that's what Dusty
starting
was
point.
saying last time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of repetition, and then try to have someone that can help you. Because you don't want to really create bad habits. But if you never get it checked on, you don't really know. But I mean, the repetitions will help, but you improve more if you're doing it correct.
Yeah.
So,
So if I had to ask you guys, like, what would you think was like when you were 14? What was the most important thing that maybe you worked on or developed at that age to help you guys get to where you are?
well, everyone's probably different, but I did a lot of drills with movement. And like I would do like movement patterns before I'd hit the ball because my feet weren't really that quick. My hands were quick, but my feet weren't. My dad, I don't remember what the name of it was, the Z drill or something, where he'd feed me in like 4 different corners of the tennis court. And I had to run around and hit forehands on every single one of them. 4 corners
The
or 6
square drill.
So yeah, whatever the name of it was. But that
John
was
Hardman's drill.
a drill that I was really bad at. Well, on the tennis court, I wasn't great at because I didn't move my feet very quick. And we did that drill so much that I ended up not liking it very much. But it did help a lot because my movement improved quite a bit because we just kept repping it out, kept working on stuff like that where we get that. So we just kept pounding it out.
I remember your dad had me do the square drill a lot too.
Yeah, that was his favorite drill for a couple of months.
Dill was
probably.
quick. You just
We
were
repped
almost too quick there, Dill.
Yeah, I know tennis footwork movement going on.
You had overrunning the ball syndrome.
Yeah, exactly.
He probably had Grant Leisner doing that even too at one point, or Tony.
Oh yeah, for sure. So Toby, what would you say when you were like 14? What do you think was the most important thing that you spent your time developing, working on?
14, to be honest, I wasn't really doing much as far as actually training on court or like working on any specific thing. I was just
Such a great athlete.
No,
so natural. I didn't need to, Dill.
No, I mean at that time I was playing. I think I had just quit baseball, but I was still playing basketball, and I wasn't hitting very much at all, and I was honestly just trying to get through practices because I wasn't liking it that much at that. I don't really remember what I was doing on court other than just getting some reps in. So I was just trying to find ways to have fun. So really start working on stuff at 17 there. And then I was.
How about we take that then? How about 17? What was the big focus of you developing?
I was lucky I had a good base and started playing when I was 3 years old. So I was pretty good, but just really inconsistent. But yeah, so then I was inconsistent. So then, 17, like I just good match, bad match, couple good points, bad points. So, and especially when we were training together, me and Dylan were just consistency stuff all the time. I mean, we were drilling cross courts for so long, cross court points for so long. And then my main focus was, I must have hit inside out forehand, come in volley. I must have done those every day for a year to 2 years straight. That was my main focus, was being able to use my forehand and run them, get them run to the backhand side, trying to create offense from there.
Yeah. Turning that into the weapon, huh?
Yeah. But just getting my consistency up was huge because I just didn't hit that many from that starting my teenage years. I just didn't hit that much. Should have quit basketball earlier. Paid for it.
So like that's like kind of from an individual perspective. But if we were to take that in maybe a different way, what is like your guys' big focus now that you are developed players? What's your big focus right now?
Most of it is mental stuff. Not working as much on like certain technique, but more recognizing like a short ball or setting up a point better,
anticipating, reading your opponent.
So not as often, once I'm still tweaking some things here and there, like working on my serve, changing things here and there a little bit, but that just kind of comes and goes. But most of the time, just mental stuff, like trying to always be aggressive, or, once you're on defense, try to switch back to offense as quick as possible, stuff like that.
So like mental stuff as in like strategic point of view. Yeah.
I'm 27 years old. I can't switch to a one-handed backhand at this time in my life. No, I'm not doing too many drastic changes. Be pretty tough.
Yeah, I think at that point, there's things you're kind of trying to add, but like you're just a lot of the guys, future challengers, they're really just looking for their game to connect in the tournament, and it just kind of happens. You're always working, but everyone's so good. Like anyone at any given moment at any of these tournaments could all of a sudden win a couple, and bang, they're playing top 200 level challengers right like that. So it's
Yeah.
not like they're like, but there's, I mean, a lot of them still are, whatever, working their inside out or getting their backhand stronger, their return stronger.
Yeah. No, I get that. Kind of getting the feel for the game and constructing points in the way that like feels the best and suits them.
You can always be better. Yeah.
So what age would you like have is 14 around an age you might have someone kind of focusing more on like strategy, like some basic strategy stuff or like the mental stuff that you guys are talking about now? Is that an age you'd start focusing like a decent amount on or heavily on or what?
I don't know.
It depends on, but yeah, it would be probably ideal because you want to be good enough where you can put those into play. You're not just at the point where you're just only goal is just making a lot of balls. But yeah, you want to be good enough.
It's always a good option to make every ball.
You want to be good enough at 14, 15 where you don't have to focus just on making every ball. And you can actually put your skill into use and do something instead of just waiting for something to happen. Because you're just making all the balls. You're just waiting for something to happen with the other guy. And that's about it. Earlier, the better, I guess.
If you have a good base, you can start picking sides, trying to run people, trying to keep beat, stayed in the corner, bring them in, I guess, whatever strategy might be.
And I was like trying to think about from my perspective, even though I started quite a bit later, but I always thought movement was after I kind of got my strokes down and all that, like the movement and the footwork was like the biggest thing for me because it was like just learning how to set up on the balls as correct as possible on every shot. So
yeah, overall movement is the most important thing in tennis, I think.
Yeah, because I think even if your stroke
like
isn't
in general,
yeah, even if your stroke like isn't clean, if you're setting up on balls well, you can at least get your body involved in the ball, and that I feel like that makes a huge difference.
Yeah, if you're set up in tennis, you're good to go. I mean, even if you got a whack stroke, there's really, really, really good players, really wacky strokes, but they move they're set up. And yeah, it gives them such a better shot at the ball.
They move a ton, then hit a ton.
Yeah.
I would say another big thing that people are always asking me is about like what tournaments should you be playing? So what type of tournaments, if a kid's trying to develop their game, what type of tournament should they be looking to play? I know that's kind of a tough question.
A mix of everything, I guess. Ones where
anything,
win
everything.
all of them. Ones where they should win it, and ones where they should be in the middle of the pack.
And then ones
sometimes it's
like in strength wise.
Yeah, because like it's nice to play tournaments because you have to learn how to win. And then like there's a big difference when you have to win 5 or 6 in a row versus like if you're always going like win one, then lose one. There's a difference with like learning how to play well match after match after match. And then
but I do a tournament.
Yeah, it's like, learning how to play through that. Like there's a fatigue you get from tournament, having a match every day or like back when you're younger. 2 matches Friday, 2 matches Saturday, 2 matches Sunday. How important is it to play tournaments? Maybe there's tournaments that are local to you or closer to you where you can get exposed to maybe a player that's like quite a higher level. Maybe like you don't have a chance to beat them, but you can get to play against a kid like maybe that's 2-3 UTR points higher than you.
Oh, it's great. We didn't get to have that too often, but like when we were younger, like I think once in a while I'd play someone from maybe Dusty's age group or Elliot Sprecher was quite a bit better than me and maybe a year or 2 older. Man, I got my butt kicked by some of them or some of the guys Dusty used to play, and I was pumped to be playing them. I don't care. Yeah, it's awesome. I was just so pumped to be playing them.
Back in the day, they had that cool tournament, the US Open qualifier, and I always thought that was like a great experience. If you're like trying to get better, you could go play in that. And there were like some high rated D1 players that come there and play, as well as some like pros that come play. And I was always like super awesome. You could go out there and potentially play one of them and just like see what that level is.
Right after my freshman year, I played the Nicholas Meister when he was like 170, and I got chopped up pretty badly.
Yeah.
In about 45 minutes on and off the court. I was pretty mad with that one though.
I remember
I wasn't that pumped.
I remember being at that one.
I was pretty mad.
Yeah. I remember at that tournament, I was amazed at how long because it was Nicholas Meister, and who was the guy he played with?
He played Evan King probably.
Oh,
Eric Quigley was there, but
that
Evan
was
King, he played in singles.
Yeah. But I remember Quigley and Meister, they were like on court practicing and then playing matches and practicing. It was just amazing how much they were on court that entire weekend.
Oh, yeah.
They hit like 6 hours a day. I
think they were both top 200.
That was crazy.
Quigley was an NCAA runner-up, I think.
Yeah, it was just nuts. Dusty, did you have any tournaments that you like maybe you went out of your way to play with like kids when you were younger, kids that were like quite a bit better than you, just to get that experience of that like a different level that you weren't that you weren't at that time?
I was for sure playing up in groups where I wasn't even top 8.
Like, did you guys make any big trips to like just go get that experience?
Big trips? No.
No.
Yeah, you did.
When I was 14, where did I go? I mean, I played Kalamazoo, but I didn't. That wasn't like a huge age jump. I didn't play like a huge age jump.
You still went and played players better.
Yeah. That was players better. Yeah, I played Kalamazoo. That everyone was. I was probably worse than over half the guys. About half.
Yeah. So yeah, like good experience. But it's just like I just wanted to point out how important it is to get out there and play. You know, like tournaments that you maybe don't have a chance to win at that time or whatever.
Oh, yeah, all of them.
Most tournaments I wasn't favored to win them probably until I was 15, 16 years old. That's right. I tested negative for COVID today. Had COVID for a few days. Positive about 4 or 5 days ago. Today, negative. I'm all good.
All right. Wait, are you headed out to Israel after in a couple weeks then?
No, because I was supposed to leave today and I pulled out of the tournaments. So I'll probably go to Greece or Turkey or Tunisia.
Well, is there anything else? I think, well, we've been on there for like 30 minutes. Anything else you guys want to close with about high level player and anything that's super important?
Time just flies when you're having fun. Yeah, probably the most important thing that I could go back and do is more footwork stuff. When I was at Good to Great Academy for about a week with Magnus Norman, coach of like Dimitrov and Wawrinka and Monfils, like their trainer was going through drills with us and said that it's almost too late for me to get too much better at footwork at that point. Stuff like that is pretty important when you're young. You improve the most when you're younger.
To jump in on there quick, when you were doing these footwork drills out there, were you doing some without the ball, like off court, like no ball, just a racket?
All footwork drills.
I just wanted to point that out because I know we have people. It's like, guys, all these high level players are doing footwork off the court without a ball, just a racket, and just like it's so important. These guys have been playing forever and they're super high level. It's like doing footwork off the court is so vital, as well as obviously on the court when you're playing out points as well or working.
Yeah, there was like 8 of us. There were like all 8 of us pros. We're doing ladder drills and cone drills, and I looked kind of like an idiot because I couldn't do any of them. I was by far the worst, and I was probably the second or third best player in the group in tennis wise. But for footwork drills, I couldn't do anything. Really. And it's pretty tough to improve once you get older.
Sure. There's that I always talk about that window when it's the best for kids to be working on stuff like that. But I just don't remember what age that is at.
Learning a language, anything too. It's easier when you're younger.
Yeah, true. Toby, you got any closing remarks here on developing a high level player? What you think is most important outside of maybe the few things we talked about?
Yeah. From my experience, I'd probably like go back and tell myself to like, just devote everything to tennis. Like if you like it, make some sacrifices, go after it, get those improvements when you're young. It'll make life so much easier. Man, I would have told myself to quit other things and just get after it. If you like it, why not have fun, get better, give yourself a better chance to be successful.
Yeah. And I guess my big thing that I'd close with, if you want to get it as high level as you can, these guys at the top and the girls at the top of their game, tennis game, they're super talented, but they put in all that work. It's like, it's not just like their talent gets them there. It's like all the hard work and all the hours and time they spend practicing, playing tournaments, getting out there on the court. And like that all adds up because you can there's a lot of people I feel like you could put a lot more work in and improve your game a lot, but they just don't think they're as talented to get to those high ranks as other people potentially. You got to put in the work if you want to get to the top, right?
Hardly anyone finds out how actually good they could be.